Hello and welcome to this short video on how to cite in text using direct quotations in APA 7th referencing style. This video will cover the methods used to quote in text, some examples of these, and some final points to remember. The rules for quoting revolve around the length of the quote. For quotes less than 40 words, they should be included in the main sentence in the text. However, if your quote is more than 40 words, they should be presented in block format and indented without quotation marks. We'll look at examples of both of these. So firstly, we have the author-focused style of direct quotes. Here, the author's name, or names if there are multiple authors, appear outside of the brackets. Usually this type of citation occurs at the beginning or the middle of the sentence, and we use it if we want to draw particular attention to the author we are using. So here are some examples of this using a short quote. Our original text, written by Jones, is that students often find getting the reference list exactly correct quite difficult. We're going to use that quote word for word, but in 3 examples. Just have a look at the different position of the author's name. In the first one, Jones is outside of the brackets, as we said, then 2017, a comma, and the P there represents page number, and we need a page number when we are direct quoting in APA 7th style. In the second one, you can see something has changed. The reporting verb, in this case, according to, comes before the author, and then the quote occurs. And finally, we have an introduction to the idea. Many students experience great difficulty in, and then using the part of the quote that we want, as Jones, 2017, page 7, pointed out in a recent study. These are all variations of doing the same thing with direct quotes. Now let's have a look at an author-focused example with a longer quote. So as we said earlier, if a direct quote is longer than 40 words, it has to be presented in a different style. We have the original text, this time written by 2 authors. Now if we look at the quote, you can see that it has been presented in a different way. So, according to McRudden and Ross, notice that both the authors appear outside of the brackets, and notice that we use the actual word and, A-N-D, to refer to them. Then we have the brackets, 2017, and the page number, which is what is required for direct quotes. In this case, however, we don't use any quotation marks. It has been indented into a block, as you can see there. Now, if I move away from author-focused, I can also introduce a quote with information focus. In this case, the author's name or names appear inside the brackets. We usually find this type of quotation in the middle or end of the sentence, and we use it when we want to draw attention to the actual information itself rather than the author. So an example might look like this. Again, here is the original short text, which I'll use in my quote that is under 40 words. Students often find getting the reference list exactly correct quite difficult. Okay, so this is how it might look. It has been argued that, and now I have the direct quote, students often find getting the reference list exactly correct quite difficult, followed by the citation in brackets Jones, 2017, P.7 for page 7. A couple of things to notice here. Notice that it's a double quotation mark that we use in APA 7th style, which is important to remember. The other thing to notice is that the author is inside the brackets, with the year this time, and notice that there is a comma between the two. Again, this is an important part of APA referencing that can't be overlooked. The final thing I want to draw your attention to here is notice in our original text that was the start of a sentence. Now we have changed the capital S to a lowercase s to fit grammatically in our sentence, because we have started it with "it has been argued that," which is what you should be doing when you're using direct quotes in your work. So here is an example of an information-focused long quote. Again, over 40 words. So it is widely known that, and we have used the same text as last time, but instead of having the authors at the beginning, you can now see that the authors appear at the end of the reference there. Notice that both authors appear in the brackets with the year, and notice what's happened to the end. Once the and appears inside the brackets, it changes to the symbol. If the authors are outside of the brackets, we use the actual word and. Also notice there is a comma between the authors and the year, and we also have the page number again. So that brings us to the end of our short video on quotations. Remember to use those different styles to add variation to your work, and we hope this has been helpful. Good luck with all your referencing.